Hey everyone, welcome back to Gang Stories. Today's story is something truly shocking. It happened just a few days ago in Egypt. A 13-year-old boy committed a crime that left an entire nation speechless. Before we dive into the full story, do me a small favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment telling us how we can make our stories even better. Your feedback really helps the channel grow, and I love hearing your thoughts. This is the story of a crime so dark, so disturbing, that it made an entire country stop and ask, how could a kid do something like this? It all started in the quiet city of Ismailia, Egypt, a small peaceful place where kids played soccer after school and neighbors still left their doors open. Among them were two boys, Youssef, 13 years old, and Mohammed, just 12. They were said to be classmates, maybe even friends. But, as we would later find out, their relationship was far from normal. On that day, Mohammed left for school like any other morning. His mom packed his bag, reminded him to come straight home, and watched him walk out the door. He never came back. When hours passed and the sun began to set, she started to panic. She called his phone again and again. No answer. She went to the school. No one had seen him since classes ended. By nightfall, she posted on Facebook, begging anyone to help find her son. She wrote, "Please, if anyone sees Mohammed, tell him to come home. Just come home." But by the next morning, a horrifying truth began to unfold. Police received a tip about a backpack found near a polluted lake. Inside were pieces of a human body. Nearby, they found other remains, stuffed into black plastic bags. At first, they didn't know who it was. But within hours, DNA confirmed the worst. It was Mohammed. Detectives immediately began checking surveillance cameras from around the neighborhood. On one of them, they saw something that made their blood run cold. Mohammed, walking with another boy after school. That boy was Youssef. The footage showed Mohammed entering Youssef's home, but never leaving. That was all the police needed. They surrounded the house, knocked on the door, and brought Youssef in for questioning. At first, he denied everything. He said he hadn't seen Mohammed that day, but when investigators showed him the footage, he went silent. Moments later, he confessed. Youssef calmly told them that he had invited Mohammed over to play video games. Once inside, they argued, and that's when Youssef snapped. He said he grabbed a rope, strangled him, and then, in a move that shocked even the investigators, cut up the body into pieces, trying to hide the evidence. He said he was inspired by a TV series called Dexter, about a man who lives a normal life by day, but becomes a killer at night. He told the officers that he wanted to see what it felt like to kill someone. But as detectives looked closer, they realized that this wasn't just a sudden act of rage. It was planned. Youssef had rubber gloves. He had cleaning chemicals. He even had plastic bags ready. Every step of the crime was thought out. When police searched his room, they found his phone filled with disturbing searches. Clips from crime series, violent movies, and even talk about the dark web. He told investigators he had seen videos online showing him how to hide a body. But his story kept changing. Sometimes he blamed the internet. Other times, he said a voice told him to do it. Experts who met him later described his behavior as emotionless, detached, almost proud. Meanwhile, Mohammed's family was falling apart. His mother could barely speak. His uncle, the only one willing to talk, told reporters that Mohammed and Youssef were not really friends. In fact, Youssef had a violent past. He said Youssef had once brought a knife to school and threatened a classmate, a girl. He was known for lying, bullying, and acting strangely. Teachers had warned about his behavior before, but no one expected this. The uncle said, "He wasn't Mohammed's friend. He just tricked him. This was planned from the start." As the story spread, Egypt's social media exploded. People were angry, heartbroken, and terrified. Parents everywhere began asking themselves if their own children were safe. How could a 13-year-old become capable of something so cold, so calculated? Even the prosecutor's office seemed stunned. They ordered a full psychiatric evaluation, not just for Yusef's mental state, but also for his home environment. Reports soon revealed that Yusef came from a broken family. His parents were often fighting, and he spent most of his time alone, glued to screens, watching violent shows and dark content online. Neighbors described him as quiet, but off. One even said he had those cold eyes, like he was never really there. As investigators pieced together the crime, more disturbing details came out. Yusef told them he used a plastic bag to suffocate Mohammed after strangling him. He then wrapped the remains in multiple garbage bags, stuffed some into a school backpack, and dumped them in different locations, one near a dirty lake, another in an abandoned building. When the police made him reenact the crime, he showed no emotion. He simply explained each step like he was describing a video game. The forensic team later confirmed Yusef's story. The evidence matched perfectly. But investigators are still trying to understand why. Was he born like this? Or was he shaped by what he watched and what he lived through? Psychologists say that Yusef might suffer from conduct disorder, a mental condition often linked to violent and manipulative behavior in children. Others believe he's simply a child who grew up without love, guidance, or empathy. Either way, the result was the same, a tragedy beyond comprehension. For now, Yusef is being held in a juvenile facility while the court awaits the results of his mental evaluation. His lawyers claim he didn't fully understand what he was doing, but prosecutors insist the planning proves he knew exactly what he was doing. The case has sparked nationwide debate in Egypt about parenting, media violence, and the psychological health of children. People are asking, what are our kids watching online? Who's guiding them? And how did we miss the warning signs? In the end, 2 families were destroyed. One lost their child forever, and the other must live knowing that their child took a life. The streets of Ismailia are quiet again, but the questions remain. Can a 13-year-old truly understand what he's done? Or did society fail him long before this happened? Maybe it's the media. Maybe it's broken homes. Maybe it's the darkness that grows when no one's watching. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes, it wears a school uniform. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Tell us what you think in the comments. Was this the act of a disturbed child? Or the reflection of a broken world around him? And if you want more true crime stories just like this one, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This was Gang Stories, and I'll see you in the next case.